Students, Standard 7th English medium. In maths, we have completed the second chapter. So now, we are going to start a new chapter. That is chapter number 3, Data Handling. You have studied in previous standard also about the data. How to collect the data. What is data actually? The informations that we collect is known as data. You know how to collect the data, to record the data. When you get the data, you note down, means recording of the data, and presentation of data. Presentation means how to represent it, either in the tabular form, actually the graphical form, pictorial form, etc., etc. Now, we know that these things like representation of data, collection of data, and organization help us to organize our experiences and draw inferences from them. It means that if we collect the data and then represent it, then we can organize our representation properly. Or you can understand inferences means we can get some conclusion from that whether it is bad or good or whatever is there. So it will help us many more, and it is easy also. Now, collecting the data. Now, when we collect the data, we just not collecting data only to put it in the papers. But there must be a reason that what are we going to use this information for. It means that your intention must be clear. That after that getting why and when and how we are going to use that. So before collecting data, we need to know that what is the purpose of it. Means for which purpose are we going to collect the data. If there is no use after collecting it, then what is the purpose? Means it is unnecessary. Therefore, whenever we start collecting data, it must be clear in our mind that what is the purpose of it. What are we going to do with this data? Otherwise, it will be unnecessary. So, the possible few situations are given that what could be the purpose. We may study the performance of class in particular subject. Suppose we are taking the tests, weekly tests, etc. Now, you know that after test is finished, marks given, the teacher will make a mark sheet. They will write down the roll numbers and name and the marks obtained. Why? What is the use of it? From the marks, then first test, second test, third test, then they can check that in first test the particular students got this mark, this mark, this mark. So they can understand the performance of that particular student or in particular subject also. Suppose we take the example of mathematics. We take the test and then we put the marks in the same sheet of paper. The first test, the second test and third test, again the roll numbers and the name. So now we can understand that about the mathematics, which students are doing much better than the others and who need more practice, who are very weak. Then we can tell them that every time your marks are very less, it means that they need more and more hard work. But if you don't write down in the notebook or in the mark sheet, we can't remember everybody's marks. So it is necessary to collect that data. So that is the purpose is clear, that we want to know that performance of mathematics, that which students are weak and so on. So that could be one of the purpose. The second purpose, performance of India in cricket, or it can be other sports also. Because in the different type of series, World Cup, 2020, World Cup, etc., etc. So we must know the performance of our cricket team, so that if we want to make some changes to put new players whose performance is better than the others, so that is also the reason. So it must be a reason to collect the data. Other situation is situation of rainfall in various part of country. So during the season, how much rain is falling in different areas, so that they can take precautions about the flood and other situation. So if the data is there, collected data is there, then the mind can think about it, that what precautions for the flood can be taken in advance, and so on. And the other is the female literacy rate in given area. Literacy rate means how many women are literate, means educated, so that we can understand that how many are illiterate and how many women are literate, educated. So we can understand that the situation, etc. It means that thus different types of situations can arise. It means that before we collect the data, there should be clear in your mind that what is the use of that data that we are collecting. So before collecting the data, we have that thing in the mind, so that we can get the perfect data. Otherwise, if you get different data, when you need the other data, then your all data is of no use. Therefore, make your mind before we collect the data, that what will be the use of that data. Now, we know that sometimes we collect the data just like that, means without anything, just we are writing the data. And that data is unorganized data, which is also called raw data. Because in the beginning, initial, we can't organize the data properly. Whatever data we get, we just write down. And then after getting that raw data, it is very necessary to organize data. It can be organized in the tabular form or graphical form or whatever is there. But it is very, very important to tabulize or to organize the data. The data that is collected needs to be organized in a proper table, so that it becomes easy to understand and interpret. It means that when we collect the data, and if we don't put it in a tabular form, just like that we write down, then it will difficult to explain that data to others also. And to understand that data is also not impossible, but it is difficult. It will take time also. And sometimes you can get some confusion also. So it is very, very necessary, very, very important that the collected data should be organized in a table. Then, if you look at the table, you can understand what is the situation and what should be done about that problem. We can understand with an example also. I will explain you here. Suppose I took a test of mathematics after one chapter is finished, as we take every time. Then I will make correction of your test papers and count down the marks, all the marks. And I saw that I will choose, suppose 10 students. Marks of the 10 students. Is like 35, 27, 15, 18, 38, 9, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17, 29, 12. These are the marks of the 10 students. Now, what is this? Can you understand anything? No. Then, either I can do one thing, that I will write down the roll number. This is the, maybe the 10, from 1 to 10 roll number. So I can do one thing first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. I put roll number. And maybe I can write down the name that is the Amit. Second number is that Riya. Third number is Gopal. Fourth number is Veena. Fifth number is Chintan. Sixth number is Priya. 7 number is Beena. 8 number is Jigar. 9 number is Kashyap. Number 10 is Chirag. And I write down the marks that Amit got 35 marks, 27 marks, 15 marks, 18 marks, 38 marks, 9 marks, 16 marks, 17 marks, 29 marks and 12 marks. So I put it in the tabular way, then maybe it is little easy to understand. But I can do more better like that also. How? I can organize the marks in descending order, means who got the highest mark, who get the lower mark and then lowest mark. So suppose I can write down here the highest mark is 38, then 35, then 29, then 27, 29, 27, then 18, 17, 16, 15, then 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last 9 marks. Then I will write down the roll number against them. Who got the 38? Number 5. Who got 35? That is number 1. Who got 29? That is number 9. So here it is easier now. That who need more. So the number last 9 marks. Who is that 9 mark student? Priya. So we can explain them that look at this performance and who need more attention, more practice, so that it can be understood properly. So it is easier to put that things, data, in the tabular form, in the form of table. I just gave here 10 marks, but it is not only 10 students in a class. So if it is 10 only, you can easily understand, but you know that in the classes there are 50 students or 40 students. So if you just write down marks, how will you understand? So it is necessary to put them in the table so that we can divide the classes also according to the performance. But if you just write down the data, it is not easy to explain that. Therefore, I said that the data collected needs to organize in a proper table so that it becomes easy to understand and interpret also. This type of data we come across in so many ways in our daily life also. For example, our school rolls, attendance, every day they have to put the attendance, marks, etc. Then progress report. Your progress report, you know, it is also in the table form, that in each subject, how much marks you get, how much was the total mark, how much was the highest mark in the class, and what is your grade, A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. So from that report, if it is not written properly, you will not understand properly. So it should be in the tabular form. Then index in the notebook. In the notebook also we make index, that from which page to which number, which chapter is there. In your like journals also, in the science journal, you write down that experiments or activities, that which activity was done first, second, third, fourth, and date, so that you understand that what is the situation going on. Then similarly, temperature record, you know about it. Prices of the object that we buy from the shop. When we go in the shop, then you buy the things. Then when they give you the bill, your invoice, it is not just like that written. It must be in the tabular form. That what did you buy? Soap, how much the price? Then you buy the groceries, wheat or whatever is there. Then they will give you the invoice, in which it is in the tabulated form. That how many pieces of that one thing you buy, what is the price of it, and what is the total price. And that after that, the total bill amount also. Maybe there is some discount or some that GST, whatever is there, it is also added. So in this all monthly expense of the family, etc., it needs to be organized. We can't just write down them, but it must be organized so that we can understand them properly and easily, and then we can understand what to do. If expense is getting more, then we must try to minimize our expenses, etc., etc. So that is the importance of organization of the data. Now, after this, in the next session, we have to learn about some representative values. Means in the data, some values are representing the whole data. Means we don't take the whole data, but if you take that value only, then from that value also we can understand the whole data. So about that we will learn in the next session. After this you will get a PDF file, write down in your notebook everything, try to understand, and if any problem, confusions, please write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.